Howdy Pilgrims, Pappy Stu here. Hope this finds you well. You know, I've just spent some time the last couple days reading about the economy and impact on people's lives due to this oil spill in the Gulf. A lot of industries are going to be seriously impacted. The tourist industry, the fishing industry, the restaurants, bait shops, resorts, and businesses that'll be impacted by the oil spill directly and indirectly. And I'm sure in coming months we'll probably see some large class action lawsuits filed against BP due to people's lost livelihoods and the revenue that they would have realized had not this incident occurred. And yesterday we heard the president assure us all that BP was going to pay for all the costs incurred due to the oil spill. So, you know, between the impact on the economy, predominantly in the Deep South, but it'll resonate throughout the rest of the country, the costs the government will incur, and all the other costs that are associated with this horrible tragedy. When folks tell us that BP will pay, that's not really very realistic. We all buy gasoline at the pump. When they say BP will pay, actually the consumer will pay. When we drive up to the gas pump and buy our gasoline, we'll be paying for the cost of the oil spill. And we'll also be paying in that whatever unrepaired damage to our environment of our nation, you know, that can't be fixed, we all lose in that regard as well. So when folks tell us that BP will pay or the government will pay, it really will be us that pay, and that's something that we all need to come to grips with. I guess you could say, well, I won't buy gasoline. If you live in a big city, I'll just take public transit, or I'll ride a bike. Well, if you're a consumer and you eat food or buy anything else, that stuff gets to you by burning petroleum products, so you'll still be paying. In other words, the costs incurred due to this horrible tragedy we'll pay for one way or another. And when folks tell us the government will pay or BP will pay, that's really not very accurate. It's a burden we're all shouldering, like it or not. And it's one we're incurring because of our dependence on petroleum products for almost every facet of our lives. It's unreasonable to think that we're going to disconnect ourselves from the petroleum-based industry in the short term. But it's just one more event that points out that it would be in mankind's best interest for us to wean ourselves from petroleum, period. The debate in recent years has been how to most economically go about getting petroleum, developing our local sources, drilling ANWR, drilling offshore. But no matter where we get our petroleum-based products, we still face the same costs in our environment with plastics and petroleum byproducts and these type of accidents and disasters that carry impact and costs along as well. I guess the only thing we're left to wonder about is how far down the road and how many of these type of events will happen before we finally give up on our addiction to petroleum-based industries and the products that we use that demand them. I remember a few years back, well, more than a few years back, when Chernobyl and then 3 Mile Island, etc., those happened, and the public response, both in the media and through the government's regulation and all, pretty much killed our nuclear power program in this country. And unfortunately, we tend to respond to these type of problems with reactionary responses that aren't common sense responses, and that might be the case with this most recent affair as well down the road. Let's hope that some common sense and pragmatic thinking manages to find its way into the fold, so that we might eradicate ourselves from these type of tar babies, if you'll pardon the pun. I just think it's important that all of us keep in mind that when folks tell us that someone else will pay for these type of affairs or events, that's really kind of a smokescreen, and that we all pay. We all pay if we're consumers, and we all pay for the permanent damage done from the type of events that occur like this one. There's going to be a lot of pain associated with recovery, and I'm sure that you share my sentiments, and those that will be directly impacted by it in the Deep South, and their families and loved ones, that we hope that their recovery is as speedy as possible, and we'll all be sharing their burden, like it or not. Anyhow, hope this finds you all having a fine one. Pappy Stu said it, and I'm out and on the side.